Hi all, my name's Trish Roberts and you're listening to LiveVegan. This is podcast number 16. I wanted to share another essay by Dan Kadahi entitled Single Issue Campaigns, Speciesism and Compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is the separation of persons, in brackets, including non-human persons, end brackets, things, ideas, attitudes or behavior, into categories or compartments. Sometimes it is epistemically rational to compartmentalize, in brackets, for example biology, end brackets. Other times it is epistemically irrational to compartmentalize, in brackets, for example race or species, prejudice, end brackets. Speciesism, in brackets, like racism, sexism, and heterosexism, is the epistemically irrational prejudice of favoring one or more species over another species without morally relevant characteristics providing justification. From the standpoint of irrational, unjustified prejudice, ignoring the morally relevant characteristic of intelligence in preventing certain classes of humans from obtaining an education is the same as ignoring the morally relevant characteristics of sentience in exploiting and killing non-humans for food, clothing, research, and entertainment, in brackets, all of which are unnecessary, end brackets. Speciesism is one form of irrational prejudice compartmentalization. An example of speciesist compartmentalization is when we pet and love a dog while a pig's full body and head rotate over a fire spit. Why isn't it the other way around? Better yet, why don't we pet and love both the dog and the pig? Other examples of speciesist compartmentalization are single-issue campaigns. Why do we protest and publish, quote, open letters, end quote, about fur, but ignore leather? Why do we have high-profile protests against seal, quote, hunts, end quote, aerial, quote, hunts, end quote, and canned, quote, hunts, end quote, but quiet down significantly about fishing and so many other, quote, hunts, end quote, in brackets, all of which are unjust, one-sided, and cowardly, end brackets. Since single-issue campaigns are cases of speciesist compartmentalization themselves, such campaigns obviously reinforce prejudice compartmentalization. Because of this alone, we should avoid them. If we insist on protesting an animal circus or a fur shop, we should make unequivocal vegan education front and center of that protest. If we publish an open letter to Johnny Weir, it should be an open letter to go vegan and reject the exploitation of all animals, not just cute furry ones. Diseases and symptoms. In addition to single-issue campaigns being counterproductive by strongly reinforcing speciesist compartmentalization and confusing the public, in brackets, most of the, quote, the public, end quote, sees the inconsistency better than activists do, end brackets, they are useless in that they address the symptoms of speciesism without addressing the disease of speciesism itself. As such, single-issue campaigns, when they are at their, quote, most effective, end quote, in brackets, a pathetic scene to be sure, end brackets, act as temporary relief from one of the many symptoms of speciesism. As soon as the campaign is over, things go back to, quote, normal, end quote, because there was never any treatment of the underlying disease of speciesism. The only way to address speciesism as a disease is through vegan education. When people take animal interests seriously enough to embrace veganism, speciesism has been at least mostly eliminated in their case, and they no longer contribute to the thousands of varieties of symptoms. To use a metaphor I use in a far more comprehensive essay on single-issue campaigns called Picking the Low-Hanging Fruit, What's Wrong with Single-Issue Campaigns, the tree of speciesism has been cut down for vegans and it no longer produces the, quote, low-hanging fruit, end quote, that single-issue campaigns address: fur, foie gras, animal circus attendance, zoo attendance, and on and on. 2 paradigm shifts. There are 2 paradigm shifts people experience, each one reducing speciesism. First, embracing personal veganism. Second, embracing abolitionist principles. Embracing veganism means rejecting speciesism in attitude, thought, speech, and behavior. At a minimum, it is avoiding the exploitation of animals and use of animal products in one's life. Embracing abolitionist principles means rejecting single-issue campaigns and welfarism and engaging in vegan education instead. Veganism is the personal manifestation of a commitment to eliminate speciesist prejudice and take animals' interests seriously. Abolitionism is the public and political manifestation of a commitment to eliminate speciesist prejudice and take animal interests seriously. Thanks for listening. Human society for thousands of years has held a deeply shared speciesist ideology that other animals are here for our use and our pleasure. Veganism is the way to end this last great slavery. You can help address speciesism and end animal use by becoming an abolitionist vegan and educating others to do so. You will find that veganism is the single most important form of social activism you'll ever engage in. Be serious about opposing animal use. You can find many essays by Dan Kadahi on his blog Unpopular Vegan Essays. That's unpopularveganessays.blogspot.com. I would also like to encourage anyone who's listening to subscribe to Professor Gabrielle Francione's blog abolitionistapproach.com and get a hold of a copy of one of Professor Francione's books entitled Reign Without Thunder, The Ideology of the Animal Rights Movement. Please come and visit us on facebook.com/LiveVegan for all things abolitionist vegan. You can find wonderful podcasts, videos, and blogs there. And remember, if you're not vegan, go vegan. It's easy, it's better for you and for the planet, and most importantly, it's the morally right thing to do. Till next time, bye for now.